Hey, good afternoon to everybody. Happy Sunday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. It's 5 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Actually, it's Saturday afternoon. I am already planning on making videos for when I am able to download again on Artist in Recovery. So it's right now, truth be told, it's actually Saturday, but you'll be watching this video more than likely, if everything goes right, Sunday morning. One of the first things I want to talk about, I was saving this until I got back on Artist in Recovery from my other channel, Staying Clean, which I've been on for the last week due to getting a strike. But you've already heard about that if you watched the previous video. I've been wanting to talk about this. This is, I'm sure a lot of the MAGA types are ignoring this. But there's a few things that really bother me about Donald Trump signing. I got to be very careful if I'm back on Artist in Recovery how I phrase this. Donald Trump signing the t-shirt or the tank top of a young lady in a bar or a pizza joint in Iowa. I think it's in Dubuque, Iowa. If it's not, the name of the place is Kathy's Treehouse Pub and Eatery. And I just want to talk about this a little bit. I was going to include this. I was going to make a video called right-wing MAGA men acting badly. And I was going to talk about this Donald Trump signing the t-shirt of this girl. And I want to talk about Russell Brand, the right-wingers defending Russell Brand. And how they seem to be ignoring Danny. I don't think either one of these guys should be defended, but their attitude towards Danny Masterson and Russell Brand and what the difference is. I made a video already on Staying Clean and I talked about this, and some right-wingers came on that video. If you could watch that, if you go to Staying Clean, you can watch that video. And they said, well, it's all about the money. These women are doing it for the money. You know, and I talked about having been a victim myself. I responded that nobody in their right mind would put themselves through this and say, own up and talk about people doing the most degrading things to them for any amount of money. But, okay, so I'm going to do these two videos separate. I'm going to do this video talking about Donald Trump and signing this t-shirt, and then I'm going to talk about Russell Brand and right-wingers defending him. That'll be my next video. Okay, so let's get into this. Donald Trump. Okay, I want to talk about the things, there's a few things that really just cringe factors. They're actually, calling it cringe factor is really putting it too lightly. Okay, the video starts off. I got several videos and several articles on this down below, but the best one is from X or from Twitter, and I'll put that one right on top because the video starts where the young lady is turned around. She's facing the other direction. Why she's facing away from Donald Trump, I'm not quite sure. It looks like she's talking to somebody, but she is facing away from him. And then Donald Trump moves down the bar, and he is facing her back, and he actually taps her. Like he's cheering. Everybody's cheering him, and he's got his, he's waving to everybody, but he sees her in front of him. To me, it's like he's hitting on her. This woman can't be. She's got to be if she's even 20. I'd be surprised. She's got to be in her early 20s. And if you watch the beginning of this video, she's facing the other direction. So instead of he stops paying attention to everybody else in the bar. How old's Trump? What, 72, 74, 74? Well, I don't know how old he is. This young lady is what, it could be his granddaughter. And she's facing the other direction. So he taps her on the shoulder to turn her around. To me, this is like hitting on her. To me, that's what I see when I look at this. He stops paying attention. This is supposed to be a campaign stop. And here this old man is all of a sudden he zooms in on this woman facing the other direction with the blonde hair and the tank top on. Taps her on the shoulder, or taps her on the arm. That's one of the things that grabbed my attention. And he spins her around. So she actually asks him to sign on her chest, on the tank top. Like I said, I gotta be careful how I phrase this. Now, this is the next thing that bothers me. The people all around this woman, like, hold her open, like expose her to Trump, like, it brings to mind other situations. The guy on one side is holding her shirt this way. The woman on the other side is pulling her shirt that way and pulling it down. I think a couple of people are holding her arms. I know there's people at least holding her shirt, and it looks like they're offering her up, you know, like holding her open to Donald Trump, so he could, you know, that's what comes to mind when I look at this. Oh, and then this part. So he's signing and he says, "Oh my God." You know, now what do you think he's talking about there? What do you think he's talking about? You know, her beauty, her shapely body, the area of the body that he's signing. Like again, this could be his granddaughter. And when I look at this, then I think she says something about, we're so, you know, she's just, you know, in love with Donald Trump. But we're so honored that you're here. And my father, of course, you know, I was not surprised when she says this. She said, my dad loves you, you know, because it's always the guys like a little my age or a little older, the Caucasian, you know, those guys are always, I don't know why, I am the opposite of that. And then he signs her arm. I think she asked him to sign her arm. So he's, you know, he's writing all over. I'm wondering if he wrote his phone number on her arm. You know, there's people, you know, with their cell phones photographing and everything like that. I have to ask, if there's Trump supporters watching this, I got to ask you a serious question. What if this was your daughter? How would you feel if this was your daughter or your granddaughter? And Donald Trump, you know, like I said, he actually taps her on the shoulder. He zooms in on her back, facing away from him, taps her on the shoulder to get her attention. She turns around and he signs it. And then he says, "Oh my God." Seriously. Now, how would you feel if this was your daughter or your granddaughter? You know, and then, you know what? I would not be surprised at all if some MAGA types, MAGA Trump supporters answer me and say they'd be honored, or, you know, they wouldn't mind at all. They'd offer their daughter or their granddaughter up to Donald Trump. You know, they'd have no problem with this at all. That wouldn't even surprise me if somebody responds that way. For this guy to be running as the president of the United States, you know, supposedly this is the greatest country in the world, and we gotta, you know, and then I think about people going on talking about Biden, Joe Biden, and supposedly he put his hand on some girl's shoulder at some point back before 2020 or something like that, or he said something in a creepy way. You know, that could be misconstrued as either way, but this can only be viewed as one way. You know, like I said, he taps her on the shoulder. His attention is totally thrown off from the rest of the bar. And he zooms in. It's like he's hitting on her. That's what he's doing. He's hitting on her. He taps her on the shoulder, gets her attention, and then he's like, "Oh my God," as he's signing her shirt. And then, for all I know, writing his phone number on her arm. I'm just saying that. I don't know if it was his phone number, but it wouldn't surprise me one bit. If you're a Trump supporter or a MAGA, you know, you're a MAGA fanatic, a Trump supporter, whatever, let me know. If this seriously, if this was your daughter, your granddaughter, you'd be okay. Would you be okay with this? No problem at all. Let me know. I'll be back later. Like I said, I got another video coming up with Trump supporters, MAGA right-wingers men acting badly. And I want to talk about Russell Brand. That's going to be the next video. The links will be down below for this if you want to check it out. There's some good links about this this incident. All right, you guys have a great Sunday.